Yes, Peter Tosh. Yes, Kim, do you know or do you think they know what the topic is about tonight?
You mean you think they haven't figured it out yet after Peter Tosh just sang about legalize it?
Yes, I. So that's the topic we're gonna talk about tonight. We're gonna talk about weed, ganja, chronic, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna talk about the pros and cons of weed, the definition and what's in it. Talk about how it can benefit us in the country. So we get into we as changing narrative, we're gonna make it a case for Belize to fully legalize weed and what we think the steps should be if it is legalized. And we'll also talk about the new wave.
The new way.
The new wave today, especially here in the United States, and I'm pretty sure it's also hitting Belize as well, is the vaping. And you also know that weed is also can be converted in that form as well. So we're going to talk about the difference between weed and vaping. So stay tuned to Change the Narrative and let's get it.
This is Kim.
I'm Lamb.
This is episode 8.
Yes,
And
indeed.
as Lam mentioned earlier, we have a very interesting topic to talk about tonight. Before that, as always, let's get into some house cleaning.
Oh, for sure.
So, trending in Belize, we know it's the holiday
It's
season.
the holiday season.
And we had this past weekend, the Christmas parade.
Christmas parade for the little kids, man. It was a
Right.
beautiful event, nice put together adventure or situation for the young kids. However, it didn't end out pretty well. I understand there was some type of altercation where
It was gunshots.
shots were fired, and not too sure in regards to who got hurt or if there's any casualties in that situation. But we will say that, man, we need to stop this stuff. It's Christmas time. We should be jolly and celebrating with our families. You know, there shouldn't be the time for that. You know what I mean? And we just hope and pray none of the kids got hurt. So
And we hope and pray that the rest of the holiday season we're not
Stay
going to
safe.
be hearing about a whole bunch of shooting and killing. You know.
yeah, we're not trying to promote any of that stuff. So,
Right.
but anyways, what we got going on with our topics tonight, man? I heard it's pretty done.
Yeah, but before we do that, you're pretty excited about this topic. Let's talk about.
It's
Let's talk about.
it's an interesting
how,
topic, man,
It
to say the
is.
least. You know?
It is, but I do want to get out for our audience to know how they can reach us.
Sure.
So we're on Facebook, which is where you're probably seeing this now. We're also on Instagram.
That's right.
Please
that's
visit
right.
our website, changethenarrative.com. We're also on all the podcast platforms.
So wherever you go, you get your podcast. We're available: iTunes, Speaker, Spotify, Apple, everywhere.
Google,
you know what I mean? Google,
everywhere.
you name it.
So yeah, if you don't have time to watch us, hey, stream us.
Yeah, we got something new this week too, Mrs. Lady. She launched her blog.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure you guys who are members, and please come on, like us, subscribe.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
We're
Get
on
on
YouTube
board.
as well.
You know what I mean? And read her blog. Man, it was very
Right.
interested. It's sparked conversation amongst our own people about some of the situations that we were talking about here now, and give your opinion too. You know what I mean? We're not shy away from your voice and how you feel about some of the topics we were talking about.
Right. So last week we, I just did an intro to the blog just to give people an idea of what to look out for. But following this show in a couple days, I will be doing another blog, which will be kind of a follow-up to this.
Okay.
To just give a little bit more information regarding the vaping, especially in weed, because although it's the new wave, people need to know
what's really going on
with vaping. Not every trend you should hop on, and this is one that they definitely, and parents need to be aware of what's happening with their teenagers out there. So. Yeah, so that's how you can reach us. We're pretty excited about the blog, excited about this topic. So let's get into it, Clint.
Sure, but before we get into the topic, we know we all grew up around weed Whether it's smelling it, seeing it being sold, smoking it, whatever.
Right.
We got to disclose.
We're not weed smokers.
Off top. None of us are weed smokers.
No.
I tried weed probably once or twice in my entire life.
I have never tried weed.
And she had never tried it.
I have never tried it in any form. I mean, I've inhaled it.
Yeah, I've inhaled it. But I grew up around it. I grew up around it. I've been around it all my life. Most of my friends, homies,
right,
are, weed smokers and never influenced me to do it. But
right. And we're disclosing this because we want you to know that
we have no bias.
Going to be talking about. Listen, hear us out. This is not us just promoting.
Yeah, no, we're not. It's not just that, but we have a case to make.
Right.
I'm pretty sure some of the politicians down there trying to make this case as well.
Correct.
But there's a legitimate case to be made why weed should be legalized.
So let's jump right into it.
In Belize.
Let's jump into it.
Sure.
So the foundation of our case is economic wise. It's
definitely economic boost. And you want to elaborate on what is our economic situation as of recent?
Correct. So the most recent stats for Belize, right? So before I get into that, let's put out there, weed or marijuana is a $144 billion industry. That's worldwide. In the U.S. alone, it's about $52 billion.
And Belize GDP per year is about $2 billion US, right? Well, we're talking about $144 billion US dollars, not Belize dollars. Yeah.
So why would Belize benefit from this boost? Well, let's talk about our situation currently.
Sure.
All right, as you mentioned, the GDP for Belize 2018 was $1.93 billion.
$1.93 billion. Okay.
Our annual growth rate is negative 0.8%.
So
in other words,
we're going to reverse.
We're going backwards. We're
shrinking.
Growing.
We're shrinking.
Okay, we are shrinking.
So we're definitely in a recession right now.
Correct. So whether or not that is televised and people know
or advertised, or people know or care.
We're not growing.
For some people, man, they've been in a recession ever since they got here, so they can't tell the difference. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if that's not bad enough, Clint. Our national debt, according to the central bank, we have a national debt of $3.58 billion. Remember, our GDP is only 1.93.
So we are 100% over. So we're running a
huge deficit.
So they're borrowing money just to sustain the everyday sustainability of the country, just the regular day-to-day functionality of the countries.
Right.
We got to borrow money for that.
What the economy needs right now is a boost. Yes, we have exports. We do export different things, sugar, banana, that type of stuff. It's not enough.
Unemployment is still very high.
The
payment as far as wage increase for the people has not seen that since the country
got its independence. No, it's not matching up with cost of living.
It's not matching up at all with cost of living.
No.
And it's hard for a typical Belizean to get loans or anything to start up a business. So, and the politicians who are supposed to be responsible to bring in the businesses to trying to grow our country, that part of it is also.
So herein comes the proposal.
This is the proposal. Go ahead.
And no, you're going to do the proposal.
Okay.
Right? That proposal is to legalize weed. So in 2017, we did decriminalize weed.
Yeah, we decriminalized it on a small amount though, just
10
like 10 grams or something, milligrams. It's just probably a little joint. So if we catch you with a little joint or whatever, they're not going to press charges.
Right, and there was a segment of the population who wasn't happy about that.
Of course, there's always going to be because no one's educating them as to why there's a change of course in this policy. You know what I mean? This is this is the policy since since day one. And the politicians are not doing a good job in explaining to the people what is the change. So this is a change, and this is it's pretty simple. So first of all, we want to disclose that any kind of smoke that you're inhaling into your body, whether it's weed, cigarettes, whatever it is, smoking in itself is bad for you.
Correct.
So we wouldn't recommend smoking weed to a youngster or a juvie or someone who's under age to be engaging in this type of lifestyle. But if you're a grown up and an adult, this is something I think you need to know. Within weed in itself, there are two main ingredients.
Correct.
One is CBD.
CBD.
And THC. Do you want to elaborate on?
Okay, so the THC is what gets you high.
Correct.
Okay, so point blank.
Correct. And the beneficial part of it is the CBD.
Is the CBD, right? So
and that's about 40% of what weed is.
Correct. And
40% of regular weed is CBD, and about 4% on average if you're smoking a weed that's coming from Belize and the Caribbean, on average is about between 0 to 4% of THC. But that's the part of it that actually gets you high.
That's a part of it, correct. So if you wanted to use weed for medicinal purposes.
Right.
Because, I think Peter Tosh said a bunch of it in that song. There are different things that, weed has, I don't know if it's proven, but people say it works for anxiety and stress. And,
a bunch of other stuff,
tuberculosis, all kind of stuff like that,
seizures and all that.
Right, so epilepsy, correct. That's actually one of the number one.
Yes.
Right, but the CBD is the beneficial part of it.
But it don't get you high.
It does not get you high. So there is a way to take advantage of it without smoking it.
Yeah. You can just take out the CBD alone.
Right, you can just use the CBD products and consume that part. Yeah. But the whole smoking, yes. I know what people are thinking, right? It doesn't cause cancer like cigarettes, right?
No,
and that's one of the things that a lot of people say, well, why not legalize it? It doesn't harm you, but it still harms you because you're still inhaling smoke.
Yeah, but we haven't really, talk about the THC level.
Well, you talk about that. Why don't you go there?
Well, it's funny because, the reason why we even came to this topic is we had a conversation with one of my cousins about this very same topic. I was shocked to find out some of the THC level he was smoking in the weed he was smoking at the time. So again, some of the studies show that based in 1995, an average joint of weed had about 4% of THC. As of today, with the weed they're smoking here in the United States, you could get THC level in the weed up to 30 to 40%. And if you're willing to consume it via vaping, to the hash oil, that option can shot you up on the THC level to 80 to 90%.
Correct, because it's more potent.
It's super potent.
In the vape, when you vape.
You know what I'm saying? At that point, to me, that's chemical. That's not weed you're smoking anymore. Because it's not natural.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, that's the difference of weed here in the United States and in Belize. In the United States now, a lot of the weed that is being smoked or being consumed are being crossbred, so they're crossbreeding.
Right, they have like different strains of it. Right?
There's sativas, indicas, or whatever.
Correct.
So they're crossbreeding these different strains that have you feeling up and down. And
so it's not the natural.
It's not the natural herb or the indica that they smoke in Belize. And in addition to that, what they're doing, they're putting in these chemicals in it. And that's, the reason why they're putting in these chemicals is to enhance the level of,
you said in America we don't do that in Belize?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure that, I know in Belize, when I was there, what guys were doing, they will just smoke the Fanta, at least, which is the banana plant.
Okay.
So they'll smoke the banana plant, or they'll mix the tobacco with weed for the most part.
Split.
But split. They got, again, there are different ways you can smoke. A spliff is usually when they smoke it to like a bamboo, and they got the Fantas and all that stuff. But there are different ways of consuming it and smoking it, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But here in the States, again, the weed they smoke here, there's so many different strains of weed. That's a whole other topic we should talk about, the 50 different strains that they got up here. And again, the stronger ones that you see here, the purple haze and all the stuff they smoke here, are enhanced.
Okay. So we say all that to say that what we are proposing to legalize is the natural weed.
The natural
weed, reason for that is because the effects of that is not as harmful, but
not only that, we can export it. We can export it.
It's the economic benefit.
We can. Again, it's $144 billion worldwide industry. If we could just get a small slice of that, I think we could fill a lot of these shortfalls.
So what would be the plan, Clint? I mean, you can't just put out a general statement and say legalize.
Well, the plan is first at least to get it on a ballot and have the people decide whether or not they want to move forward with that. This is not for you and I to just put out there and decide for the people. They got to be the ones to decide whether or not this is something they want to do. However, it's upon us to really fully explain to the people the benefits, the pros and cons of it. And again, let me finish it by saying that it's a $144 billion industry. It can, if the government is willing to tax it, if the government is willing to tax it, it can boost our economy tenfold. And again, the thing that I will stress in order for it to work to Belize, because in Jamaica they legalize it, but Jamaica made a big mistake by letting these big multi-corporations came in, and now the multi-corporations are dominating that industry.
So what is your proposal for that?
If Belize were to go that route and legalizing marijuana, what they would want to do is set up a plan where we would only let in about 20% of our market to outside influence. 80% of the market should go to local growers or local Belizeans, so that the money can stay within the Belizean people. And I'm pretty sure with our high unemployment rate, I'm pretty sure with the shortfall that we have within the budget and the deficit that we're running, within a year, that deficit will turn around. If you look at places like Colorado and California, places that actually legalize weed here in the States, weed has
boosted their economy big
time. Beyond any other measures, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, it hasn't done anything different than what it was doing before. And people gotta understand, weed consumption in Belize, as it is as today, without it even being legal, Belize is known as one of the
highest country in Central America.
For weed consumption.
Weed smokers.
Yeah. So as it is right now, with it being illegal, we are already consuming a lot of it. And if you want to make it legal, my thing is you'll set an age limit. You know what I mean? I would say 18 and older. That should be on cigarettes too, by the way.
Isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it got to be on there.
You know what I mean?
It's most
it
definitely.
Should be 18 and older.
That's the 21.
That's the first thing. You want it to be 18 and older. You also want it to be a situation where 80% of the market is going towards local Belizean growers and investors, 20% for foreigners, and you also want to tax it, and tax it very high. You know what I mean, so that it can, make up for some of the shortfalls that we're having. You know what I mean?
Okay. And for the people out there who are just strongly against weed being legalized, what do you say to them?
I mean, the war on drugs is a complete failure, man. And again, we're not promoting it for someone who's underage. And if you are of age and you're an adult that can make your own decisions, you should be able to make your own decision what you want to do with your life.
My thing is, look at cigarette and alcohol. Those are legal and those are...
You know what's so funny? You mentioned cigarette. You mentioned cigarette. I still don't understand why, with the shortfall we have right now, why is it that they're not even taxing cigarettes more than what they're doing now? They should be taxing.
Have a higher tax.
Yeah, because
and alcohol.
Alcohol. Yeah, because those are killing. And again, we don't have the resource, the medical resources to take care of these people when they're sick.
Right.
And cigarettes is so bad.
And make no mistake, cigarette is the number one cause of lung cancer.
Yeah, so I'm saying cigarette is so bad that you gotta even smoke it to get cancer. You just gotta be around it. So I really think again, weed is an option to help boost the economy, and they really need to put that on the ballot for the country to vote on and let the people decide how they want to move forward in that direction.
All right. So you made your case for weed.
Correct.
Let's talk about vaping, because I definitely want to talk about that a little bit.
This is the dangerous one, right?
Because one, it's new.
It's new, yeah. It was supposed to. So vaping was made by the same cigarette companies because all the backlash they were getting from cigarettes, and they finally admit that cigarettes were giving people cancer. So their solution for cigarettes were to
Correct. So
went ahead and did,
I remember
vape.
seeing commercials on vaping when it just came out, and that's one of the things that they were saying. They were advertising it as safer than cigarette because you're not inhaling the smoke.
That's correct.
Right. The problem is that, well, one, people have died. There's like over 300 cases of people having problems that are linked to vaping. And I believe we've had about 47 deaths
already
so far from vaping.
And that's just the ones that are reported.
That's what's reported, right? The thing is, it is new, and there's a lot of counterfeit stuff that they're putting into it, and we don't know what is in it.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of the vape stuff too, man, are coming illegally, or synthetically coming from China and Mexico. And you already know, like these guys. The whole point of them giving you a vape stick is to get you hooked. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and they're young kids. I mean, they're saying that kids as young as 12
years old,
are vaping. So parents out there, be
aware,
be woke.
And when we say this, there's not just a vaping. Again, vaping. When we say vaping, it's also the hookah, because that's it. It's the hookahs, any kind of flavoring, smoking.
And for those that don't know what vaping is, let me just give you it as defined. What vaping is, it's a battery-powered e-cigarette.
Okay.
That heats up liquid to form vapors or aerosols.
That's correct.
So basically, you're inhaling aerosol, right? And they have THC in it, the same thing that gets you high in weed.
That's correct.
Isn't there? There's nicotine.
That's correct.
And the problem too is what is causing the deaths is this vitamin E acetate that is also mixed in there. We don't know when it is or when it's not, but that is deadly. Mixed with THC is a problem.
Remember that, people. Vitamin E acetate. That's the chemical that is within these vape sticks, the Juul and so forth.
Right.
And the hookahs, that, again, that substance alone is a killer.
Right. So, definitely. Don't be fooled into this whole, well, I'm not inhaling smoke, so it's safer thing.
Let me give him some
It is not. And because it's oil or aerosol that you're inhaling, everything is more potent.
More potent, yeah.
Everything is it's elevated. The levels are elevated.
I also want to give people some stats too, because I think this will also blow their mind. So on average, in a little Juul vape stick, there are about 20 milliliter drops in there.
Okay.
However, just 12 drops, 12 milliliter of that e-stick, the e-liquid that's in the vape stick, is equivalent to 60 cigarettes. Again, just 12 milliliters of, again, what's in those little Juuls or those vape sticks or even the hookahs. That alone is equate to about 60 cigarettes.
That's a lot of cigarettes.
So it's that much potent and dangerous than cigarettes. So I'm pretty sure you see a lot of young folks nowadays who are using it, trying to look cool, look hip, whatever. But it's a killer, man.
Yeah,
it's a killer, and I just hope that I'm pretty sure it's down in Belize now. People are just trying it out.
Yeah, they're starting to experiment
with it.
You know how it is. It's popular here, and that's one of the problems we have in Belize, right? If it's popular here, people are going to try it.
Right. But
they got to know.
Any kind of chemical, man, especially a chemical that you're not even know what you're consuming, again, has side effects that can lead to fatalities. You know what I mean? So please be aware of these substances. And again, we were also talking about the e-sticks, because they are transferring weed. So the new thing here is the weed they're transferring to the vapes as well.
Right.
And the THC level in the weed sticks, in the vape sticks, is 90%. Just sit down, think about that for a second. 90%, which when the THC level on regular weed that a person smokes is about 4%. The strongest weed, you probably find out they probably have about 40%, if that. We're talking about people with these vape sticks up to 90%, man. And people are consuming this stuff, man.
Right.
And that leads to all type of stuff. It leads to paranoia and,
yeah, psychosis,
all type of psychosis.
Because it's too strong. I mean, at this point, you're not.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing natural about that no more.
No, not at all.
So that whole case about weed being not bad for you or whatever.
Yeah, that was a joke. That was the same nonsense. That was the same nonsense they spread before when cigarettes was around. They were denying that cigarettes gave you cancer.
Yeah.
Until the evidence was overwhelming, then they had to admit it. But it's
right.
the same thing now. They're just dressing it up to something totally different. So
right.
I just want, again, we just putting it out there for the youngsters, man, for people back home to understand the difference with the two. And we feel strongly that if the people will at least put it up for a vote and let the people decide how they want to move forward with it. But there's definitely an economical benefit for the whole country that everyone can benefit from if these protocols are followed. Whereas, again, keep it at 18 and older, tax it at a reasonable rate, and also make sure 80% of the market stays within the Belizean people, Belizean growers,
right.
and Belizean distributors. You know what I mean? Well, if we could keep that formula, man, I think we will solve a lot of our issues and will help boost the economy somewhat. You know what I mean?
Right. All right. Well, is that it for us tonight?
That's it.
That is it for episode 8. Again, we don't encourage drugs.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
All right, but all we're saying is, look, man, the economy needs a boost. People
right.
are doing this anyway.
Right.
As long as we keep it natural.
And stop locking up people right now.
That's another problem.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we already don't have the resources to deal with everyday issues. So it's behooved me that we're still locking up people for weed, man. If we can just stop. Yeah, just stop doing that, man. Put your resources in something else, and stop straining the hospitals with all these cigarette cases and all this nonsense too, with the cancer that we don't have the resources to take care of. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
All right. Well, this is Change the Narrative. We do it our way. This is our time. Be empowered. Change the narrative. This is Kim signing off.
Peace.